Assalamu alaikum, good evening, hello, hola. Now we are on our third day of LinkedIn Live for the Global Society for Human Capital Management Awards, Global Award of 2020. So today we'll be discussing in detail about the Global People Leadership Icon Awards 2020. And we have a team of panelists today with us, and they will be explaining each award of People Leadership Icon Award, and they'll be explaining the criteria. And also we'll be giving you the details that how you can successfully apply for this award to come on the top 3 ratings. Before we proceed ahead, we have a panelist, and I would like to introduce to them. We've got with us the chairperson of the Global Award, Ms. Naila Al-Musawi.
Hello, good morning.
And then we have got other panelist, Ms. Radha.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
And we have got Dr. Ali from Abu Dhabi, UAE. Now I'll pass a baton to Ms. Naila, and she will give a small glimpse of the award. Before I pass on the baton to Ms. Naila, I'll just give you a small glimpse of what all does the Global Society for Human Capital Management does. So we do global annual awards, we do annual conferences, seminars, LinkedIn Lives, webinars. We do regional conferences, HR Majlis. Currently the HR Majlis for Dubai is going on. And we do HR mentoring program. And we do also do some specialized kind of project like the benchmarking research projects among the HR professionals. Passing on to Ms. Naila.
Hello, good morning. Welcome, everybody. It's quite early here in the UAE. Well, it's 10 o'clock, still an early day, considering the times of crisis that we're still in. And welcome to all the viewers, the participants, and the achievers. So today, we are going to go through the awards, the GSHCM awards, and take you through the process of what are the types of awards, the criterias, the categories of the awards, and specifications on the specific categories, and how the criteria has been designed for each and every person and the applicants who's going to be going through the process. So we have been working in the team of almost about 12 of us to make these awards successful, memorable, targeting the year of 2020 and the ups and downs graphs that we've been going through. So there are 2 categories of the awards that we are presenting to our participants and the future winners and the achievers. And they are the Corporate Awards 2020. So these awards are basically designed for applicants who wish to apply for the Corporate Awards organizations. And then we've got the second one is the Global Epic People Leadership Awards, where it's specific to individuals who would like to participate and come forward and apply for these awards. And the categories have been designed and selected specifically, as I was saying, through a very rigid and consistent process, where we thought that these were the key categories that would be applicable considering the circumstances of this year. So it is quite specific, and quite a lot of time and dedication was put into this in order to making these categories applicable and attractive for corporates and individuals in taking place. Having said this, it's also really important to understand the why. It's not just the what. The why do we have these kind of awards coming through? the benefits. Why should organization individuals step up, especially specifically this time in 2020 when we've had a really a rough start of the year. And if I speak for the UAE, we are a nation where we think forward, decades forward, and plan forward. And 2020 was a very important year for us. It was a year for us to shine, not even to show. It was for us to shine. We wanted to celebrate this year, this 2020, with the expo. However, when the pandemic came, our agility and resilience was tested, and then that's when we actually stepped up and proved that again we are ready, we're stronger, and embracing the pandemic and taking us through to the end of the year. So with these awards, I expect people corporates and individuals to come forward, apply, go through the learning process in order to understand how life has been, and sharing their success stories and their best practices with the community, with the world, and go through this learning process and win. Whether they win, whether they're not, of course, they will win as achievers because they have participated in this rigid process and learned to become bigger, better, and stronger. So I pass over the baton over to So Dr. Ali and Radha, over to you. You guys are going to be explaining the categories of the corporate awards. So today we're going to be doing the whole gist of the whole pattern, so everybody can understand why we started, then the corporate awards, then the individual awards criteria, and all the way to the tour as well that Sandeep will provide. Please take over, Radha, over to you, and Dr. Ali.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson, for this introduction. I hope everybody will be really willing to learn more about this award, which is focusing on the things that we are facing currently with the COVID-19 issues and with the challenges facing the HR community, the business community all over the world. Saying so, the categories of the award start with first the talent management, which is always and will always be an area of focus for organizations and HR, especially now the talent are way important to organizations. So the first award, it's dedicated for talent management and talent development, how we are selecting, nurturing, and sorry.
Radha, we are going to the Global People Award. The first award is People Leadership.
Sandeep, Radha is let us continue with the corporate awards, and then we're going to follow with the People Awards according to the agenda.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. Then the second one, it's the Well-Being Award. It's about how we are nurturing and treating our people in this tough time, the special initiatives taking place. And the third one, it's the change management, especially the change that happened in 2020, how we handled it, creative solutions we made during this time. And then we have the business continuity, which is so much related to the situation, how we handled the crisis, the special treatments we did on an employee and organization level, on a restructuring style, and people benefits, people treatments, all of that in the business continuity. Then we have the crisis management leadership. It's also continuation for the 2020 special situation. And the last two awards are dedicated for HR consultancy and executive search agencies. It's for Search and Talent Advisory Award and for HR Consultancy Innovative Award. This is for the organization corporate awards. And I will move the mic to Mr. Ali to speak about the People Leadership Awards.
Okay.
Thank you, Rada, for the brief introduction about the global corporate epic, which are about 7 categories awards. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the whole world. My name is Dr. Ali. I'm going to go to discuss with you or explain to you about the Global Epic People Leadership Awards 2020, which also are around 7 categories. And this year, we already categorized like People Leadership Awards, and we give a very distribution between male and female in order not to have any kind of bias, not to give categories between these two. And as everybody knows that the leadership, they are driving the whole business and organization to success to their objective and target goals. For that, during this year with the COVID-19 and pandemic, what happening and challenging in order to achieve the target, a lot of the CEOs, male and females, they are trying through their employees' leadership with their organization, through their communication with others, in order to come up over this kind of financial challenges, success in their objective and everything. So we'll have like 2 awards for the people, one for the male and one for the female as CEOs award for this year's 2020. Also, there is 3rd award about CHRO for this year, since we're already taking care about the human resources as the leaders. They will take care of, especially for the issues, how they are inspiring, how they influencing, how they can make sure that within the whole environment culture, they become more strong, more trusted for their resources and how they can do it and transfer them and to make more confident them in order to protect more and more to be giving to the company and how they can make sure that area. The 4th one is about good governance and willingness, and how they can internally do the whole governance and make sure that the root cause or anything happening within the governance in the area, they can cover it, they can make sure everything is going on, they can building a strong criteria, performance, they indicated, reported to the organization to cover any path, could be sitting down or something else. The 5th one is about the HR partnership leadership. Since the HR is one fundamental function within the organization, they need also partnership with others' expertise in order to make sure that leadership they can transfer their functionality or their focusing about the whole information and how they can downscale from the vision from CEO in order to implement across the whole function, and how they can collaborate and how they can understand the business unit to support them, align with them, all of them as a one organization and also as one team. The 6th one is about HR technology leadership. And during this COVID-19, we found a lot of organizations now move from the traditional way to a new technology, to utilize technology in order to lead the communication, to lead the distribution. Also, they utilize the analytic machine learning in order to understand the previous mistakes and capitalize on the data, what they have with artificial intelligence, in order to drive and support them to achieve the performance and objective of the company. The 7th last awards, the Lifetime Achievement Awards, was related to a lifetime in order to have a balance for the employee and to have dedicated service for the core of the organization about the asset about the employee, how they can the high lifetime to achieve and how they can grow in the organization or outside of the organization to have life balance between them. Now, this is the whole brief about the Global Epic People Leadership Awards.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. I was talking earlier before I hand over to Radha to take you through the criteria. I wanted to actually take some time to discuss the why. There's lots of award categories out there, and a lot of organization pitch for as many categories as they can to win as many, which is fantastic. The more the merrier, the more achievement, the more visibility for the organization and for the individual. But why people go through this process, it's important to understand it's not about just winning at the end of the day. It's about achieving on different levels. Recognizing your achievement of it, first of all, promotes your business, promotes you as an individual, and you're set apart as competition. The other thing is exposure to you and your organization. The awards are well published, they are on social media, and they provide you visibility and advice as well on how to go through this process. Return on investment is also one of the benefits that you would get in your business when it gains that visibility as an individual, as a professional. In addition to this, sharing your best practices is really important for the awards and setting excellent standards for other organizations to look up to. Employer branding is a key piece as well, because when you as individual are participating or in an organization and it's showcasing your talent, your people, your organization, and people want to work for such an organization, and internally people are proud of an organization that is setting their themselves on a platform publicly and showcasing their good work. This awards as well, there's a critical piece there that is important for people to understand. You apply for the award, you go through the process, it goes through the criteria of selection, and then there's a feedback process where you as individuals, as organizations would want out of this. Why did you score this much? What did you do excellent? What are their strengths? What are your areas of development? So the feedback process is a learning process to come bigger, stronger next time, and also leverage on your strengths as an organization. So the return on investment also gives you feedback. It motivates your team going through this process and looking forward to participating in such an award. And at the end, whilst this is so much fun as a process you go through, in these times, especially this year has not been, so positive in terms of business and job turnovers. It educates us as employees, as managers, as leaders, going through this cycle, the process, and then going all the way and getting to the awards platform. So that's a sense of success and achievement at the end. So I thought that it would be nice to kind of share that piece, because at the end, these are the major variables that make us as individuals and our organization better and bigger. So I'll pass on over to Radha if she has any views, or Ali, who thinks how this year has been. I think it would be nice to kind of share your experiences.
Thank you, Naila, for this part, because it's very important. It's very important to stress on the takeouts of the awards. What is the added value for the organization? It's not just another trophy on the shelf. It's a full feedback cycle which can add value to the way we do business inside the organization, the way we do initiatives and how we carry them, and to make them even better in the next time. Speaking of 2020, it was really a challenging year, I would say, changing the way we do work, the way we handle people, the way we are more concerned about people. I believe HR became more aware of the importance of the well-being of their staff, and how they are, how this impacts the performance, and how this is impacting the productivity of the organization, especially when it took us time to revisit our operations, our style of business, and even our products and our customer relations. So if the HR team was not really at the top of things, taking care of their people, making sure that the messages and the communication reaches their staff, that this will never happen. That will be a very hard year on everyone. So I believe that was a very, it was a big learning year. It had lots of areas to tackle, and it changes. It did actually change us for good. Yani, we will not go back to the old ways of being after 2020, and this is the beauty of it. Beside all the other stuff around.
I guess it's sometimes important to have drastic measure to be able to make that change. What do you think, Dr. Ali? Can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. I put it in mute, so sorry about that. Actually, every time we have a different type of challenge, and every time we have new challenges happening, especially with the market or with the technology or everything. But during 2020, now this become one global challenging, as challenging through logistic part, technology, communication with others, and everything. So the way of traditional way of doing the business, everything has been changed, and everything will become changing, and it's already adopted in the market. So majority of this happening and leading through the HR, the professionalism and everything, and they can capitalize on it and find a lot of ways can rely on their staff, their assets, and they can product more and more in that area, and how they can use it, and they can also do it, measure it, and performance to achieve the target of the organizations. So 2020 become a lot of challenges, but it's really give the whole practice and sharing the knowledge during this this awarding to give a brief feedback, and also honestly as different sides to give what they have experienced, what they are doing, if they are on good track or some kind of the scoring, how we can give them in order to share with them the other experience in order for them to improve it, which give them more add value to this award, not only just a trophy, as others mentioned as Rhoda.
Yeah, well, you know, you can. From what you both are saying, there's been so much work that has been done in 2020. Despite that we feel that people have gone through this turbulent times, but organization, I think, went the extra 100 miles to be able to sustain themselves, make them stronger, make them resilient. Stop themselves from going crazy, literally. So they came out on the other side as new individuals, and I think that would be the storyline of success when people come forward and talk about their achievements in these awards. So
Exactly, Naila, and we need to celebrate that together. Celebrate the survival, I would say, because just staying alive as an organization after this year, it's a big achievement by itself. And the whole journey we went through as both teams and management and people, it deserved to be celebrated. And this award is the best place to celebrate the tough time and the successes and the survival of 2020.
Yes. So I was just talking to my mentor a few weeks ago, and he has been feeling quite unwell. One of the victims of the COVID, he's gone through a legacy journey where he took up a startup organization with myself all the way to the end, and now he's moved on to different things. But because of the circumstances he's in, he may or may not be able to go through to do his farewell. We want to do a big farewell for him. So he says, no, it's all right. But you cannot leave such legacies and such achievement go uncelebrated.
True.
Do not. Khalid, if you're listening to me, do not let this go uncelebrated. And whether you like it or not, we celebrate at the end. And
Yes.
because it's also coming right at the end of the year. It's like in November, closer to the end of November. Sandeep, can you tell us a little bit about the awards date, since you were talking before we pass on to Radha to take us to the criteria, not the tour, just the dates, just highlights of the dates.
So for the dates, let me take you to the screen of award.
So the awards is, I think, on the 20th of November. That's the date. That's the big day, yeah? Yeah, that's the big day.
Yes, these are, yeah, there you go.
28th of November. So for me, 28th of November is the probably, I mean, the November is probably the last month of the working month, because December, everybody is looking forward to January and celebrating the whole of December. We have our National Day here in the UAE. And so we are quite busy, I would say, in the month of December. So yeah, so I think it's the right time. So I'll pass over. Sandeep, is there anything that you would like to share from the global human capital management perspective on the whole awards? How do you feel that this is progressing so far?
So for the award, I think so. This is going to be our 12th award year, and since we commenced our journey from the Middle East Society for Human Capital Management, Society for Human Resource Management, to the Global Society for Human Capital Management, and probably this is the first year. There's a lot of work has gone into in working on the award. Earlier, we used to have a team of 4 or 5 people who was to work. So there a lot of energy is there. So a lot of debate, a lot of and with debate comes little confusion also. That's okay, acceptable, because we all are working so much focused into making this event successful. So the best thing is the award this time is headed by a woman. Chairperson, chairwoman, and then we've got a huge, balance of gender bias in the award. And even the chairperson of the GSHCM is a woman from Saudi Arabia. So it's a different perspective of the award vis-a-vis the any of the award. And the most unique part of this award is this is customized to this year, and the cherry on the cake is that there's a lot of transparency in this award. So the processes are very, very well laid out. Criteria are very, very well laid out. And next LinkedIn Live, which is going to happen on 15th, we're going to explain even the detailed part of the criteria, rating scale, how things is going to happen, the back end work. And we have given the details of even the panelists, who are the panelists, who are the chairperson, deputy chairperson, panelists. So everybody knows, who's there. Everybody knows what the awards are. Everybody knows what the criteria is, rating is, because most of the time, the awards are sometimes seen that there is some hush-hush going on in the award. Whereas in this award, it is absolutely transparent. And the best part is each one of the awardees, if you apply, you're going to get a response, and you're going to get a response on how you fared on the award, which area was a gray area for you, which usually most of the award panel I have seen, they don't receive the feedback. They say, feedback cannot be received. Yes, you'll receive when you apply for the award. Yes, you apply for award, but not how did I fare, my gray areas, which I fared, which I don't fare. So this time, the panelists, they have pushed us that we need to send even the feedback to all the people who apply for this award. So I think so that's a very, very unique award this time. customized to the year, transparency, fantastically gender-wise, diversity is there in the board panel committee. So we have everything positive, to become successful for this award.
That's good news. So we're progressing on track and everything's going as planned. So Radha, over to you on the criteria that you helped us put in place.
Okay, so speaking of the feedback, so it's a good place to jump into the criteria and how the feedback will be given. Actually, we have 4 criteria for the corporate award, and each one has a very specific points and requirements. So I will walk you through the 5 criteria. First, it's the corporate context and of the award, how this initiative you are applying is unique, what is different about it, how this is different than other things you've done inside the organization. So there should be a unique and newness element in the initiative, and how this impacted the organization culture and the environment positively. So we need to really understand from the people applying that how this is different and why, what is the positive about it, what is the good about it, and how that really was seen inside the organization in terms of culture and environment. And of course, each criteria at each point, we look for the evidences inside the application. We make sure that the applicant provided the needed data, the needed evidences. So I encourage everyone who's really applying for the award to make sure that they even, sometimes people will forget to put measurable, clear evidences, or they forget to mention stuff that will really impact your classification or your achievement in the award. So please just make sure that you really provide solid evidences. The second criterion, it's the strategy and initiative. What are the strategic objectives behind this criteria? This initiative. What is the planning process you followed? How that came out, actually. So we need to understand the process the organization went through to come up with this initiative. What was the drives behind it? And then we go to the execution and implementation. So the beginning, it's the implementation, the planning, the idea, and strategy. Then we go to the execution. What was the communication strategy? How we shared this initiative with people, who were the target audience inside the organization and outside, and the team involved, how that improved the team relations, team connections, the teamwork inside the organization, and how we did measure the performance. So at the end of the day, each initiative is an objective. So we need to understand the measures used to measure the performance of the initiative and of the people who okay, then the transformation part. Now we go to the output of the initiative in terms of how that impacted the organizational goals and direction. We look into clear data here, so we need to really see the impact on the organizational direction and achievement. Then we look also on the innovative techniques and tools used. So if they have used special systems, or they developed special systems for that, or it was a process, it was an innovative process or system. So it doesn't need to be a technology. It can be anything that is new and different for the organization. The last part of the criteria is the ROI, and here we speak about very specific points, which is the impact on revenue, the impact on customer satisfaction, impact on market share, cost cutting, budget, all of that. We need whatever was the the impact on these, if it was clear for the organization, we need to see that. It's not revealing information as much as percentages or the percentages impact. So they don't need to reveal numbers here. It's more of reference and benchmark percentages. And other stakeholders, of course, if there were other people impacted by this initiative, other stakeholders, what is the continuous impact of this initiative on them. So this is for the corporate. I don't know if it was if the brief was not too quick. Shall I move to the people? Naila, you are muted.
All right. No, I think you went through that piece quite well. On the people criteria, it's similar to the corporate criteria, but it's individual based, I would say.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so if you think that if there are drastic differences, maybe you could take us through that. If you're not, maybe kind of focus on what would be the areas of differences and kind of capture it that way, because it's very clearly as Sandeep is doing a good job taking us through this as we're talking. It's quite clearly defined on the website here as well.
Yes, 100%. Actually, the difference is more, as you've mentioned, it's the individualization of each criterion. It's more of the impact on career, his personal career, and the impact on the self-development of the person. It has a presence in the people criteria, and the leadership style and how they were motivating people and moving people. So it has the difference here. It's more of the human element. So these are the main differences from the corporate criteria. The people side, the impact on career, and the leadership and motivation element. So the other parts are quite there. The return of investment of the initiative, or the work done, the impact on organization, the strategic and planning, the style of execution and delivery. So these are covered in both, but the people element, it has a bit of more focus here in this criteria.
All right. Dr. Ali, I wanted to ask you something before I hand over to Sandeep to take us on a cool tour of the website they've done. We not only that we are setting this awards, the whole team is responsible setting the criteria, the category, the dynamics. As individuals, it's a learning process as a team of panel members as well. Good stuff, not so good stuff, and we're going through these waves. And not only we are panel members for the awards, but for the judging as well. So how do you feel about that, and what do you expect as a team going forward?
Okay, thanks for that question, and it's a very good question. When I participate in this awarding and to be part of this panel, actually it's my pleasure to be part of this amazing team, and it's really give me more and more experience and knowledge about how the team they are working, how they're evaluating and everything. In addition, the criteria, how the team and they work as harmonies and collaboration between all of them is really very fantastic, and let me feel like as we're all of us in different nationalities, but as like one team, one families, and we coordinate and we distribute the role and responsibility between all of us. In addition to that, the evaluation will be like fair between the whole organization when they are participation and they are sending, and we can share with them through a clear criteria, which already updated in the portal, already distributed to the whole teams in order to know how they evaluate it, how they can judge it that area. and also can give feedback to the whole organizations, their feedback, their experience, their knowledge, and during their participation or during taking this go ahead for this awards. And really thank you for this amazing experience in that area.
Very welcome. You're an asset, Doctor, to us. Sandeep said something that this time there are women leading this initiative, and it's gender bias. We've been living on gender bias for the past how many since before Christ BC, and suddenly this awards has become gender bias.
The other side of gender bias. The female gender bias.
I think the 3 women that you have on board is equivalent to a lot of other people in muscles, I think. So I think it's a well-planned setup. So over to you, Sandeep, and take us on a tour. And it's been interesting.
Okay, and by the way, Radha is here. Radha is chapter chairperson of GSHCM chapter Jordan. So we've got another leader there in Jordan. Right, so now we're going to take you through the website. So here's the website. It looks because last 2 days back we had the LinkedIn Live on the Global Corporate Epic Award. So we have explained to you about the entire website, and this time we're going to explain to you the website from the point of view of Global People Leadership Icon Awards. So this is the landing page, and you can go to the award if you want to apply for People Leadership Icon Awards. From here, read more, you can go through, and if you want to know about the details of People Icon Awards, so these are the 7 People Icon Award. You want to know about the dates, it is there on the landing page. You want to know about the panelists, so details of the panelists are here. Total of 12 panelists and 2 leaders to lead them. Then about the award, so you can click on the second drop-down menu on the People Leadership Icon Awards. You have got the content for it, and you've got the details of the award criteria here. So as Radha has explained, there are total of 5 criteria here: leadership and motivation, and the explanation for that, strategy and planning, and careers and self-development, execution, and the return on investment. Please focus on the return on investment because that's one of the very crucial part of the application. So you need to show, and as Radha was explaining, you need to show, you need to attach as many evidences as possible. And bear in mind, you cannot attach more than 3 megabytes. Repeating again, you cannot attach more than 3 megabytes. So make your document a portion to the 3 megabyte size, and this can be uploaded into when you apply for the award. Bear in mind, each of these categories, so I'll take you the categories of the award. So each of the categories, when you will apply for this award, there are certain each of these categories, when you apply for the award, you will be taken through to some of the content, total of 5 content, and for each of the content you have a word limitations. So I'll take you through that, the word limitation part of it. Now, how to enter? Now, if you want to enter for the People Leadership Award, you can go scroll down and you will see 3 slots of details: eligibility, who all are eligible, what is the process, and what is the fees. The fees is bare minimum around 1,000 dirham. Process is explained with the steps, and there is the eligibility criteria. So who all are eligible and how you can apply for the award. Now coming back to the submit the entry, which is very crucial, which is the final our take on the award before we apply. So you can click on the people leadership icon award in a submit entry, and when you click here, you will get the whichever categories of award you can apply. You can fill up the details for whichever company. So if it is for the company or if it is for the individual, and you can apply, you can mention it, the details of the company, what is the if a person has applied or the individual has applied, and what is the email and all criteria of email if you want to get the details, because we'll keep on responding to the the concerned person. And then we need the details of person who is nominating. So it could be your organization XYZ, and you could be a HR head. It could be a ABC, your organization. You could be a CEO. You could be a GHIGQ, and you could be a COO or CFO. So you need to mention the details, that who you are, who is the person who is nominating the award, and then you have to start writing about the criteria. In the criteria, you have, as I mentioned to you, you have a limitations in word count. We request that at least exhaust minimum of the word count which is mentioned here. So if you see here on the leadership and motivation, the total word count is 300, and then you need to attach evidence for it. Evidence could be whatever you have written, a justification. So for example, you have written an initiative that you have designed the talent management, or you have designed some innovative good practices. So you can give the details and give the small screenshot of the PowerPoint here. That should give us indication that yes, you are there and you are the one who has applied. Then next you can go career and self-development. So what did you do for your self-development or the career? So if you have attended any seminar, workshop, you can give the screenshot of that in the evidence. Then next is what is the execution? How did you execute that? So you need to mention that in 200 words and then give some evidence for it. Then the return on investment. What was the ROI which has been defined? So you can explain what was the ROI of your initiative and then attach the evidence. Now, one of the most important criteria, one of the most important part of the criteria is giving the references. So we need at least 2 references. The reason of asking for the references is twofold. One is the panelists, you have seen, they are very, very professional panelists, chairperson, chairwoman, and 12 people. And they're going to go through each of the award which you apply, and they're going to do a random check of audit. And if your award comes for the random check of audit, they will be calling the people whom you have mentioned in the reference. So you need to give the name of the person from the same company where you are currently working, or in the past company, or your colleague or a peer. What is his designation, position, his mobile number, contact details, and other stuff. And you've got to give at least minimum 2. Bear in mind, we need minimum of managers and above level, so that they understand what we are asking from them. So these panelists are going to validate, we're going to talk, and we're going to explain. At times what happens is you have given the details, but you may not have provided the other details. So we're going to substantiate that. And then there is some payment details are there.
I wanted just to add one point on the referencing part. It is very important for the applicants to make sure that when they're putting the numbers, to inform the referencing party that they may expect a call. Sometimes people just add numbers and names, and when the individual is actually called, he's thrown off completely, and he doesn't know about the award, he doesn't know anything, and puts the success factor on a parked position. So we don't want your application to be impacted in any way after going through the whole process, and you don't inform the referenced party, Mr. X or Miss X, that by the way, you may get a call, we've used you as a reference for an award that we've applied.
Right. Then the next page is about the panelists. So you can review the panelists, who all are the people. Most of almost all of the panelists are very, very senior HR professionals, seasoned in their own domain. They are expert, and they bring a lot of years of credibility. You can say from here, at least you will get around 300 to 400 years of experience from this page for the HR professionals.
Oh my
Now,
God, we're dinosaurs.
and
We have,
then,
Raja, we have 400 years of experience amongst us all members. We're dinosaurs. And he's exposed our age.
and then
Yeah,
we've
this
got,
is very risky. And he mentioned 3 women in the group, so it's very risky, by the way.
So there's a warning for you all people. Now we've got 3 ladies, wonderful ladies, very seasoned one, and bear in mind you are under watchful eyes. So provide your details in as much details as possible. And these are our sponsors for the award. Now Bostonica, AfriGulf, Argene, and Media Glam and Medic Talent. Now we have added as much FAQs as possible. We could find, or we could check by asking as much as feedback. So we have tried to make the website as self-explanatory as possible. However, I know there will be a lot of questions, there will be a lot of concerns, you would like to know more detail. So what I suggest to you, we have given the contact details here. You can send the email, and you can also send WhatsApp on these 2 numbers you will provide. They will be giving you all the details in within 24 hours time. This is the location of the event company, and that's it for the entire website. Preview, and I'm sure this is quite exhaustive, and this website has gone with a lot of iterations. So it is quite simple, I think. So I have seen all the award website of the globe, but I have not seen a standalone award website which gives so much of clarity, so much of transparency, and so much of simplicity. I'm done.
Thank you, Sandeep. Before I close, I would like to thank Radha and Ali for joining us today and making this session interesting and fun. I think it was a nice trio live session. And is there anything that you guys would like to add in closing? So let's close together.
Actually, I would just encourage everyone to apply. This will be a fun award. It's not going to be rigid. So you will hear lots of feedback. You will get lots of interesting insights. So I'm encouraging everyone to be part of this. And I'm really happy to be here with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Radha.
The same thing I want to say, like, it's really a wonderful awarding, and also collaboration and experience to be shared with the others. And I encourage everybody to participate, inshallah.
Shukran, Abu Hassan, and thank you for participating. See you all, Achievers 2020 in the awards. Let us know if we can be of any help. There's WhatsApp numbers that you can just kind of ping us if you have any concerns or questions and advice. And looking forward to seeing your applications before the cutoff date and at the awards as well. So thank you very much for viewing and watching the recording version. Bye.
Thank you, Chairwoman, and thank you, Ms. Radha. Thank you, Dr. Ali, for being with us. So if you want to know more about Global Society of Human... So you'll find us on everywhere in LinkedIn, Twitter, and all the account. And thank you so much. We'll see you next on the 15th. When you understand, we'll give you more detail about how to calibrate, what are the criteria, what are the measurement of the award.